I'm David Lewis from England, currently living in Cambridge in England, but, well, at the moment living in China. I'm a social anthropologist, have been teaching at Yunnan University since 2007, teaching social anthropology.
Professor David, thank you very much for joining us on Foreign Experts in Yunnan. I would like to ask, what is your current research area? Would you please break it down for us?
Okay, I've been doing research on cultures, and especially I'm working on a book on culture change and how cultures change over time. To some extent it was based on material which I gave last year at a lecture to mark the centenary of Yunnan University, in which I was talking about the way in which Yunnan University has specialised very much on cross-border issues. The fact is that certainly in Yunnan there's the great potential for studying many different ethnic groups, because there's about 24 or more ethnic groups here. Many of them are now migrants in Kunming and other cities.
Yeah.
You need to get to know people, get alongside them, understand their worldview and their perspective, and get to know their culture by living with them. And you can do that also in the city as well as in the village. It's just that the size element is a bit different.
You have been an external expert in Yunnan University. So from your perspective, what are the advantages of conducting the social anthropology research here in Yunnan?
Yunnan is a wonderful place with more than 24 ethnic groups living together in a compact area, maybe the size of one of the countries of Western Europe. It gives a tremendous opportunity not only to access different ethnic groups, but also to see how different ethnic groups, often with overlapping territories in their traditional way of life and areas of living, have learnt to live with one another, to respect one another, to perhaps have a kind of symbiosis with one another. And we can think of very much cultures as like biodiversity. Yunnan has great biodiversity in terms of cultures, and each culture is unique because each person is unique, and we can learn from them just as we need to learn from one another. And like biodiversity, we need to preserve endangered species because they have often strengths that the other species don't, and we need that. One of the things I teach my students is that they can ask, what can they contribute to these cultures? Because often there's the impression that they're just getting information so they can get their PhD and hopefully get a good job or whatever. And I say to the students, what can you give to these cultures? Materially, probably they can't give very much. But what they can give is friendship.
Doing the research, or it's like kind of like an outsider.
Yeah.
But sometimes the outsiders need some, we talk about, the humanistic care.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
That's right, yes. So if that's something I can help in the lives of at least a few of my students, or not necessarily students, anybody, then it's one way that my limited experience can help.
So, Professor, now the time for the personal questions. In your daily lives, I would like to ask, any thoughts, sharing with us maybe?
A few years ago, a couple of my students were Tibetans, and at the end they gave me the white scarf and so. Yeah.
The hada in Chinese.
Yeah. I was not expecting that, and and my students gave that to me as a token of appreciation.
Oh, really?
And it was an expression of their culture. And there was another time, and the very last class, they'd kind of brought some food with them, which and they produced it before the final session.
Yeah, right.
And they, one or two of them, started to ask me a question out in the corridor to keep me out in the corridor, so I didn't see what the students were doing. And when I came back in, they'd got a cake there.
Oh.
that they'd specially bought, and on it, on top of the cake was written, "We love you, David."
Wow.
And that was so touching. And
You cry?
well, not quite, but almost. Yeah.
Almost.
It touched my heart.
Wow, it's quite warm, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, last questions. What is your plan in the future?
I have many ideas for possible books. So I would like to write more books. And those would draw on different areas of research which I've done in the past, as well as current research, which is drawing together ideas from many different people and also incorporating what I've learnt even from my own students here in Yunnan and from living here, as well as my experiences in Russia, Kyrgyzstan, other parts of Central Asia or the Caucasus, Japan, England, whatever, drawing together themes in different aspects of my research and developing it further. I would like to continue teaching here after the next 3 years. Wait and see. I'm hoping that the relationship with Yunnan Dash will continue a lot longer into the future.